good Tuesday morning, Wednesday late at night, or can it be? Yeah, Tuesday afternoon, depending on where you are joining us. Welcome to Morning Coins with John and Chaz. I am.
Thanks for being here with us.
Absolutely. And thanks to you guys who are already watching and upvoting. We appreciate it. Thanks for waiting for our technical difficulties and getting started. We didn't have Chaz's face, and we wanted to make sure that we could bring that live for all of you to enjoy.
Yes, we want you to be tortured by this. Nightmares for the little children.
Speaking of nightmares, the blockchain technology is causing nightmares for a lot of people. They're kind of scrambling and going to be figuring out real soon how to make themselves relevant.
Yes, it's amazing. You see all this out, the experts, and I dare say call them the old guard or the past guard, still think the blockchain is a flash in the pan and still think that cryptocurrencies are going down the toilet, and they have no clue.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the fun part about doing the show. Kudos and shout out to @DLive for adding web show to your list of categories as a default when you set up our broadcast. So I'm watching you guys. You're doing good over there. Keep it up. And also to DLive 24 Hour up there for being our promotional sponsor and a supporter of Morning Coins with John and Chaz, so we appreciate that. But before we get into anything else, we got to let people know that this is a web show and not a financial advice and investment show.
Good segue. Cueing me in here. So cryptocurrencies, futures, stocks, and options trading involves substantial risk of loss, and they're not suitable for every investor. The valuation of cryptocurrencies, futures, stocks, and options may fluctuate, and as a result, clients may lose more than their original investment. All investments discussed on this show are for informational purposes only and are not recommendations to buy or sell.
Awesome work, Chaz. Hey, I'm so glad that I wore my G1NBC fleece today because I see that you didn't.
Well, I'll tell you, it's about 80 degrees up here in the studio, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, my studio's air conditioned.
Yeah, and I got a fan going here, and I said, no, I'm going to skip the fleece today.
All right, everybody, go to @CRollo3 and upvote his latest video so he can buy an air conditioner.
Yeah.
All right, so I have our list of links for today, so I just want you to know that the title for today's show is What is Decred and Bitcoin Technical Analysis.
Yeah, we're going to take
with a focus more on Decred.
Yeah, Decred's the major focus here. We're going to take a little sidebar on Bitcoin, just to get in there with some technical analysis and look at what's going on. And we've added a couple articles in the links section. Some of those are just general purpose information. Others are specific to this particular show. And I did add one right at the very bottom there, that the cryptocurrency index that's based on the CCI 30 is now available for purchase in the U.S.
Really?
Yes.
So you can buy shares of that crypto fund?
Yes.
Does that crypto fund include Steam?
It's the top 30 by market cap, so.
Oh, okay. I think by market cap, Steam has dropped a little bit. It's like 36 or 37. We'll have to check that out, though, to see if Steam is actually included in that index.
Okay, we can do that. That's possible.
And then just for you all watching, those links in the description on DLive, you have to copy and paste the link. But if you're looking at it on Steemit, then you should be able to just click that link for today's slides. That'll get you in there, and you can see our rundown and click on these links and all that kind of stuff for the show. So thanks for being here. Keep those upvotes coming. You guys are awesome. I'm really glad that you are liking Morning Coins with John and Chaz. So, for lack of a better segue, let's get right into Decred, shall we?
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and make this slide bigger, and we'll go ahead and run that video, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Okay, it's a great video. I really liked it.
Okay.
Today's digital currencies don't scale and suffer from destructive hard forks. Hard forks can result in loss of investor funds. They also damage investor confidence and can lead to attacks. Decred was built to solve these problems. A hybrid proof-of-work, proof-of-stake system ensures that no group can master the flow of transactions or make changes without input from the community. Decred is the only decentralized, self-ruling currency where everyone has a real voice. Decred gives participants the tools necessary to make decisions about the technical direction of the currency. All participants have a say in its future direction, budget, and which projects are developed and presented for vote. We believe that striking a balance between infrastructure owners and currency holders is the only way to build a robust currency, now and for the long term. Decred has shown resilience where others have failed, thanks to our modular platform that allows us to integrate new features without disrupting the service. Decred's transparency and scalability has not gone unnoticed. We've won accolades from fellow developers, industry experts, and the media. Launched in February 2016, we are completely independent, community-funded, community-owned. Decred is engineers, artists, entrepreneurs. Decred is a global community that believes in financial independence and community-based governance. We are the currency of choice for anyone who wants to take charge of their financial lives. We are the digital currency of the people. Learn more about the future of finance at decred.org.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, they did a good job on that. And one of the links that we have is a link to their channel where they have all their videos. So anyone can go in there and watch the videos and get more information. There's interviews and things of that nature.
That's the Decred channel, their YouTube link right here?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So, I skipped ahead and I shouldn't have. Because it's a slide break. We have the Manna slide up there.
Yeah, the Manna slide. Just wanted to update everyone, let them know that the third deposit came in. And so it is working and functioning as far as the deposits go. Of course, right now we're just in a cyber space deposit. The next phase is when we get enough in there to try to make a withdrawal and see what happens.
And do they have a minimum withdrawal?
No, I haven't checked that. Anything I read did not mention that.
Right. Okay, and for those of you guys who don't know, and I believe it was episode 13 or 14 of Morning Coins with John and Chaz that we did, we highlighted the Mannabase project, and that their intention for theirs is universal basic income for everybody, and they give you they give you weekly tokens.
Yes, weekly tokens.
Weekly tradable tokens, and their intention is to have everyone that signs up on the platform and their goal as a nonprofit is to create universal basic income using their blockchain technology. So make sure you check out Mannabase. Our links are in the slides. And now we're going to dive into Decred. So, here we go.
Yeah,
Tell us about the system.
This is a hybrid system that they've developed that uses proof of work and proof of stake to mine and create blocks, and stakeholders vote, verify the blocks. So the process of creating consensus is balanced between miners and stakeholders, and it's the best of both worlds. And one of the points that they make in their documentation is that they're preventing concentration or centralization. They're protecting against centralization, like 51% attacks, by doing this.
And okay, can you say a little bit more about that and why that's important? Because I liked in the video where they said, and that was the part in the video where they're building the community by creating the relationships between the community members and the industry, the holders of the technology.
Yeah, what they're trying to do here is make sure that there's what we could say is engagement by the community, empowerment, right? So we have two different groups that are working: the proof of work people and the proof of stake system. And what they do is one creates blocks, and the other group votes on the blocks to validate them. So you don't have one group controlling the whole process.
Yep. So so that's where you get to what you're saying in this list of bullet points, where it's like autonomy is self-rule and the stakeholders make the rules. So that's where you get your proof of stake, is they can participate in decision making and get rewarded for their efforts.
Right, and they do this through creating a voting system, and they call them tickets. Your ticket is like an entrance into the voting pool, and from there, if you're selected, your vote gets counted, and they look at all the votes, and if they have a sufficient amount of votes on a particular project or platform going on, then they call that a yes vote, or a vote for, let's say, a programming change in the chain. The community will vote on it and say, yeah, it's good, let's go with it. Or no, we don't like it. We're not going to go with this.
Gotcha. And for those of you watching, Sean S. Porter, thank you for the upvote. I'm going to name a couple other folks. Thank you for the upvote. If you guys want to come in and say hi to us, and if you know about Decred or are a miner or a stakeholder, come on in and talk about your experience there. And then, as always, when we're on this slide, you can see our dial-in number and our room ID. We're on zoom.us, and you go 468-186-430 if you want to take part of the show. Makarova 12, Blueberry Ether, Mickey 21657, Junior Tweet, Jacob Grab, Pinch Tedious. Awesome. Thank you all for your upvotes. We'll read some more off in a little bit.
Just to continue and finish up on this slide, it's an open source platform. The software is open source, so everyone can see it, which is what we like. We like to see open source. Although it's not always possible to have that. I didn't fully understand the incremental privacy and security, but they tell you that if you're going to go into the pools, you need to make sure that they're secure, because there's a number of pools. Free speech and consideration, and multi-state inclusivity. I said that, inclusivity. Did you hear that?
You did. Yeah. There was no long I sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are we going to watch the Decred is Unique video?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Because it's really, it goes into the voting.
Okay, cool.
Decred is a cryptocurrency which builds upon the strengths of Bitcoin. To see how Decred is unique, let's compare the two. Both Bitcoin and Decred have a 21 million coin supply cap. Here's where things get interesting. Bitcoin's mining subsidy is reduced by 50% every 4 years, as shown by the stepped graph. Decred reduces its mining subsidy smoothly and gradually by 1% every 21 days, as shown by this curve. New Bitcoin blocks are found and broadcast by proof-of-work miners, who also receive 100% of the Bitcoin reward. This gives miners all the power, leaving users without a way to coordinate and change the rules regarding what blocks are considered valid. This leaves open the possibility for hard forks in the chain. Decred aims to improve on this by implementing a system of checks and balances on its proof-of-work miners, giving its users more say in Decred's development. It works like this. Once a new Decred block is found by a proof-of-work miner, the validity of that block is decided by a consensus vote cast by 5 stake voters. If a majority vote deeming the block valid is not achieved, the newly found block is immediately rejected by the network. If a block is deemed valid, then the new minted Decred coins are split 60-30. 60% goes to the proof-of-work miners for finding the block, and 30% goes to the stake voters for doing their part to secure the chain. Decred's hybridized mining system makes sure that its chain will never split. The differences don't stop there. 10% of every Decred block reward is placed in the Decred Development Fund. The development fund makes Decred a self-funded open source project with no need for outside capital or an ICO. How the development fund is spent is determined by the community. Through the project proposal website, users get to vote on ideas to improve the network and select the development team to complete them. Decred is controlled by the community. To become part of the Decred community, go to decred.org to download the user software for your platform and get Decred on exchanges such as Bittrex and Poloniex. Decred, decentralized credits.
Interesting.
It's yeah, it is. It's a very
And is this from their YouTube page?
Yes, it is.
The link that's in there? Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure.
There's a number of different videos there. There are quite a few, actually, so you can do a lot of investigation.
Gotcha. Cool. Thanks, DLive 24 Hour, for your upvote, and HR1. We appreciate it, and Pinch Tedious. I think I already said Pinch Tedious. So let's look a little bit more at their voting.
Yeah, this is basically an outline of what you probably just heard in that video. But so the two different groups, the proof of work, when they do their proof of the blocks, they have to have 90%, 95% of the 1,000 most recent blocks in the latest block version. So in order for that to happen, they need to validate the block. They need to have 95%. So good thing.
Gotcha.
Right? That's a pretty high level, 95%.
Yeah, that was what one of my questions was. The people, the stakeholders, like, what are they actually voting on for block validation?
They're voting on to validate the actual block like you would in normal mining.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing is you're trying to validate that block to make sure it's a created good block.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
And then the point proof of stake people, then once there's any kind of change coming along, 75% of the votes cast within that static block must have the latest vote version. One thing I did notice about the voting is that you have to have updated software. So there's a situation here where software could be updated regularly, and you have to make sure you upgrade your software.
Sure.
To actually be able to vote.
Yep. And I also think you would have to have some type of technical analysis, even if you don't have the gear, to be able to participate in that type of decision making.
Right. Yeah, you have to know something about what you're voting on.
All right, we going next? Or are we staying here?
This is just a spread or a flow chart of how that process works. And I thought it was a pretty good chart.
Okay. So we have new consensus software. Minor upgrade. I'm just trying to go through. So it starts at the top with the new consensus software.
Right.
And then we have a minor upgrade, a voter upgrade. So this is every time they do an upgrade.
Yes. Yeah, you have to make sure your software is updated.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, you're not going to be able to participate. They do have on their website, you can look at the actual voting screens. They have screenshots there to show you what things look like and tell you how it works. So they have pretty good instructions on how to make this thing function.
Gotcha. So then what happens, you guys, from how I can tell, and I don't know how well you guys can all read this out there, but you guys can, if you copy on the link and get the PowerPoint, you can check this out. So voting begins, and then they tally the votes, and here are the possible results. Quorum not met. That means 90% of all votes cast within the rule change interval were abstained votes. Abstained meaning no, or they're not saying anything. Majority not met. That means 75% of the threshold for no or yes was not met, and so then that'll go back to a revote, and they'll try it again. Or the vote passes. 75%, oh, excuse me, guys. 75% of the non-abstained votes within the rule change interval were yes, and then that goes to a new consensus code that activates 8064 blocks after the vote passes. If it's under 75% of non-abstained voters vote no, then the proposal dies, or if it doesn't reach a 75% majority, yes or no. Hold on. That's stupid. Before its expiration, then the proposal will die.
Right,
so that's good.
There's a good process here.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty well thought out.
Yeah, it's a well thought out process. I like the hybrid platform that they're using two different kinds of proof technology to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's an additional part to this, and that is there's passive income to be earned with Decred.
Hey. Wait, does that mean you signed up? Because we always have to let people know if we're holders or
I have not done this
signer
yet.
uppers.
Yeah, I have not signed up. We have another coin coming up that is also a passive income coin in our next show. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You already know the next coin for next week's show?
I know the next coin for the next two shows.
That's awesome. Guys, we should make 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. Well, your camera's frozen, so tell us a little bit about earning passive income, and we'll wait for you to get that camera set back up.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
So entering passive income of this, and I think I thought it mentioned that in that second video, but you have to set up and fund a Decred wallet.
Okay.
So you have to own some Decred. You pick a voting pool, also known as a stake pool, and sign up on that pool's website. For more information on stake pools, there's a link there. You can go and check that out. And then you purchase your voting tickets.
Oh, okay. And then go ahead. Sorry.
The voting tickets will allow you to vote on changes to the blockchain, and also will earn you some money.
You're froze. And so that will make you eligible for that 30% piece.
Yeah.
That they mentioned in there. Gotcha.
I say 30% is awesome. I would think 10% was awesome.
When I looked at Decred, and it looked like they were like $72 per.
I don't have the chart on that one because I use Bitcoin instead, but.
Wait, what? Oh, you use Bitcoin instead of USD?
Yeah.
Oh, well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants Crypto Guy.
But anyway, there's money to be made here. And I think, with these last three shows, the next one also will have storage, which is another way to make passive income. And so we've had quite a few ways so far, and I think that people can make money, right? Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
It's 69.09?
Yeah.
It's getting a little bump. It was at 68, and then our show started. It's going up.
We're moving the market.
Take that.
Yeah.
Who's the dude on never mind. The yelling guy that does the stock stuff.
Oh, yeah. On TV,
yeah.
you mean? Yeah. On the big networks?
Oh, my goodness. Look at this passive income slide. There's so many words on here. I'm already confused.
Yeah, I put that there for someone who wants to do this. This is really just for a look at later so that they can look at it. But this is what the steps are in there with links so that they can actually get started on this process.
That's awesome, Chaz. Thanks for including that. So what that means is this is to get started with earning Decred and being part of their platform and starting to be a proof of stake owner within that network. So you guys can check out our slideshow for those steps and to stay included. Callie Meatwagon, thanks for the upvote. We appreciate it. Thanks all of you for being here. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the chat. And as always, like I said earlier, you guys can go to zoom.us and hit that room ID and come say hi live. Anything from this passive income, like the 10-step slide that we want to point out?
I think most of that's been covered, and those are just like operational details
Okay.
for someone who wants to get involved.
So they have a future feature trying to
They have
tongue tie
other
us.
things- Yeah, they have other things coming. Now, this is right off of their website. And so they already have the hybrid proof of work, a censorship-resistant blockchain anchored in public proposal platform. Right? They got big ideas, you know, smart contracts that work, such as Lightning Network, cross-chain atomic swaps, different digital currencies. That's interesting.
Gone Rogue is a big fan of atomic swaps. I still am too new to the game to really fully understand what those are.
And I as well, yeah. Maybe we can get him on here to do some.
Well, if he's watching, I'm sure he's going to put in a comment.
Yeah.
Or someone else who's watching, or you can call in or comment and enlighten us on atomic swaps. They sound cool.
And another future thing is cross-platform wallets for ease of use. So
it's going to be big, man.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Good. Everyone's going for it. It's going to be I'd say fourth or fifth to market is probably going to be the best one. Whoever the first to market one, you're definitely going to fail. But people will love you for actually getting it done.
There's always someone improving on your ideas.
Your camera turned off, by the way.
I got to figure that one out. But
everyone go to @CRollo3 on Steam it and upvote his latest post so we can get him air conditioning and stable internet.
yes,
So is there a blockchain project to deliver better broadband across the United States and the world?
Sounds like a blockchain show. Yeah, sounds like a show for us.
It's really bad here. Like, people always think of the United States as a land of opportunity, but, rural areas can barely get broadband access, and then places that can get broadband access, it's also tied into your cable and stuff like that, and it costs so much.
Yeah, and it's a good object lesson for us here, too, because centralization, because the ISPs have, blocked out their competition in areas, and you can't get, competition. So if you don't get competition, you're stuck with crap.
That's right. I mean, you look in just the Cleveland market, try to get internet, you can get it from 2, maybe 3 places.
Yeah, that's
it's
crazy.
Ridiculous, and it's junk.
Yeah.
Anywho, this Decred team, it looks like I see a couple LinkedIn profiles, but not a whole lot. But I see they like to use Slack, Twitter, and I think that's the GitHub logo.
Yeah, it is the GitHub logo. I checked on our first gentleman there, and his LinkedIn page, I couldn't open it.
Uh-oh.
So it's a bad link, and then when I went to the page and typed his name in, like 7 guys showed up.
Uh-oh.
With his name, so I'm not sure if he's even there. But these are only a handful, or there's actually 23 team members.
I see a lot of developers. I don't see a lot of marketers and CTOs and CFOs.
Right. And I didn't either. I think there's some marketers on lower on the page. I didn't get those on there, but I just wanted to give a sample of who's on the page.
And those are cool graphics, but they're not pictures.
Right. Maybe they're just shy.
Maybe. Do you know what is the logos above their names? Do you know what those are?
No, I didn't get a chance to investigate those.
Okay. So what do we think about the team from what you could find?
They exist. Most of them exist. Backgrounds, I don't, when you go to Twitter, you don't get a lot of information on backgrounds like you do on LinkedIn.
Right. Are they active?
The ones I checked were active.
Good. All right. So that's Decred. If you guys have any questions, or Chaz, do you have any closing comments on Decred?
No, I just think it's a well thought out project, and it's an opportunity to have governance that actually allows community involvement without getting, the centralized people involved in it.
Yeah, and I do like the aspect of where it does really try to strike a balance between the proof of work and proof of stake, and it kind of it tries to create an understanding that they both have to work together at least in this capacity for this platform, for it to survive. Do you know any of their, like, what they want to do other than that, like, or what kind of rules they make, or like what kind of what do they want to do as a community? Do they want to do content, security, tracking?
That was one thing I had a hard time tracking down, was the specifics about it, but I didn't go to the stake pools, which really probably would give you an idea of what they're trying to accomplish. But I think this platform is designed to work in any kind of voting situation.
Okay, so maybe then it is just maybe then because they want to do that cross-platform integration, that their value add is that voting flow that we saw earlier.
Right. The value is there with the validation of the proof of stake and proof of work.
All right, interesting. Well, that's Decred, everybody. Hope you guys liked it. I saw that you put in here an 18-month technical analysis for our friend, the Mac Daddy of all cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin. And I was like, uh-oh, is he going to be making some type of observation today in your technical analysis?
Just a couple.
Oh, more than one.
The support line, which is that green line I drew across there.
Hold on, let me make it bigger. Okay.
And so what we're seeing is it's bouncing off its support line. Now, that's a good thing, because now we're showing that there is some strength to Bitcoin in that area. So
gotcha.
Consolidation. Also, if you take a look at the linear regression channel, the blue and the red channels there, you can see it's trading near the bottom of that channel. And I found that the LRCs are very, very reliable as far as price range prediction. So I think, and lastly, on the left-hand side, up in the corner, I just zoomed in on the last few days there so we can get a look. And there is a punch up. It did jump there at the last bar, the last green bar.
Yep.
So we might be seeing some upward moves in this market. On balanced volume, the yellow line at the bottom, it's sort of gone flat for now. But that's okay, because that means it could be an upward trend on that.
Okay. And so the red and the blue line, can you tell me at least what that is an indicator of, or what?
It's okay. It's standard deviations.
Okay.
So what it does, it measures price range. The top one is 2 standard deviations from the middle. The middle, where those 2 bars meet, is the linear regression line that supposedly draws, or it does draw, a line weighted to the middle of the price ranges.
Okay. So you could say soon we might see, because there's we might see a 10,000 price mark. Not soon, but that is the median potentially.
That would be where you would expect it to go based on what the bars or what the chart's showing you right now.
Okay.
There certainly is a possibility to hit the bottom of that red chart and maybe go through it for a little bit.
That's when you get out your fiat and go on a shopping spree.
That would be it for me, and I'm not recommending that anybody do this, but that for me would be a buy signal. When it punches through that bottom red bar, then that would be a buy signal for me.
Okay. Very good.
But we're definitely in the lower part of the range.
Yeah. Yep.
of the Bitcoin.
Yeah, so if you have it now and it's just laying around, might as well put it to good use and store something for later.
Yeah, I think that we got this big lull going on here, and this is an 18-month chart, so you're looking at a long period of time.
Yep.
I don't think everybody gets upset when things don't go the way they want them to, but I think this being here is the best thing, is to actually, own some cryptocurrency.
Own some now before the institutional investors come in, and that's who you have to buy from, because they're going to take their piece. Learn how to do it on your own. Listen, research thoroughly. Don't just watch Morning Coins with John and Chaz, and do your homework.
Yeah, that's
continue creating good content on Steam It and Steam Peak and DLive 24 Hour and DLive in general. Make up your own shows, build the Steam community.
Yeah, let's work together
informed.
to figure this thing out.
Cool. Well, good job on. I was excited. I'm like, there's a Bitcoin technical analysis slide in there. So good job on Decred and Bitcoin. Our last slide is the 1 month from our crypto index, which is now available for purchase.
Yes, the index is available for purchase in the U.S. now. You have to be a qualified investor, which tells me that they're going to ask you some questions about your financial situation.
So that's all that means?
Yeah, they're going to want to make sure that you have the financial capability to invest in it. I'm sure that was part of the requirement by U.S. regulators.
Mm-hmm.
They said, look, we don't want, grandma spending their last $20 on buying the index. So you have to make sure that they're financially capable of absorbing a loss if it happens.
Gotcha. That's interesting now that you can buy that index.
I think it's great. That will mean more and more people will be getting involved in cryptocurrency.
So the 52-week change is 138%.
Yeah, which, that's great. Year to date, we're down, though, 63% since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's not going to change for a while.
Right, and then our month to date is, though, we're up 1.7%.
Good. And you know what? Most people that got in December, January are already gone.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a shakeout. Anytime that you people buy in at higher prices and it takes a tumble, they bail.
We just hope they can come back.
Yeah, well, sometimes they're licking their wounds for a long time.
Sure, I mean, that hurts. That hurts. Could you imagine if you made a significant investment in January or December?
Yes.
That would be hurtful and hard to deal with.
But you didn't you didn't do your homework.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's our show for today. If you guys need crypto, we put our Coinbase links in there. If you guys buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, we get $10. So you can show your support by doing that. If you guys don't need it, don't want it, that's okay. We put our recorded version of this show up on YouTube with our description and our slideshow as well. But we really appreciate the support that we're getting from our DLive and our DLive 24-hour community. So thank you all for tuning in today. And we will see you next week when our token is, or is it a token or is it a coin or what?
Token. They want to use those interchangeably, don't they? And
yeah,
coins.
I think so.
So storage is our next coin, and it also is like I said, a passive income coin. So people can start making some passive income, making money. Let's face it, 30% return. I mean, it would take you years and years to get that out of the bank.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. They barely give you 0.5%. Sometimes it's 1/4% over a 6 to 18 month rate.
Yeah, and they brag about it.
Yeah. Like they use that as competition between people, and then they wonder what we're doing over here in this space.
Yes.
All right, everybody. This was Morning Coins with John and Chaz, episode 16. What is Decred? And we will see you later.
See you guys. Bye-bye.